Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to have a brief lesson because there's a lot to revise and we will not go forward till we have practiced and perfected the previous lessons, inshallah. But this is going to be another chart that has to be memorized. That is Harf Nasab and its Ism. It is a fragment. We have already done Harf Jar Majroor fragment we have done. Now we are doing Harf Nasab and its Ism. As you can probably guess from the name, Harf Nasab, like a Harf Jar, what did the Harf Jar do? Harf Jar changed the next Ism to Jar status. Harf Jar changes the status of the next Ism to Jar. What does the Harf Jar do? Harf Jar changes the status of the next Ism. Next Ism means the Ism that comes right after it. It changes its status to Jar. Harf Nasab, as indicated by the name, Harf Nasab changes the status of the Ism to Nasab, Nasab status. Harf Nasab changes the status of the next Ism to Nasab. It's like, let's say, the example of rain. There is a person who's completely dry and rain falls on that person and the person becomes wet. A completely normal dry person becomes wet because of rain. Similarly, any normal Ism, it just gets acted upon by a Harf Jar and becomes Jar. It gets acted upon by Harf Nasab, it becomes Nasab. So let's understand that and remember that. The fragment of Harf Nasab and its Ism is made up of two parts. First is what is called Harfun Nasab, and this is a harf that puts the Ism that comes after it in the Nasab status. The second is an Ism that follows and is in the Nasab status. So the Harf Nasab and the Ism in the Nasab status, they make the Harf Nasab and its Ism fragment. There is, however, a slight difference. Unlike the Jar Majroor fragments have to be right next to each other, no gap between them. Harf Jar and its Ism, they have to be right next to each other. But Harf Nasab and its Ism, they can be a gap, like there is Harf Nasab, then there is another Ism, and then there is a third or fourth Ism that is in Nasab status, and maybe that is affected by Harf Nasab. So this cannot happen in Harf Jar and its Majroor. The Jar Majroor has to be right next to each other. But the Harf Nasab and its Ism, they can be apart. They can be many words apart. There can be few words between them. So what are these? These are, most of them are in the table. And these are the most common ones that are used in the Quran. So we will be going through mainly these first. So these are inna, anna, ka'anna, layta, lakinna, la'alla, bi'anna, li'anna. Inna means certainly or indeed. Anna means that. Ka'anna means as though. Layta means if only. Lakinna means however. La'alla means hopefully, maybe. Bi'anna means because, and li'anna also means because. Inna, anna, ka'anna, bi'anna, layta, lakinna, la'alla. You have to memorize these. There is absolutely no other way. There's no get around but to commit them to memory. Inna anna ka anna bi anna. Laita lakinna la'alla. Inna anna ka anna bi anna. Laita lakinna la'alla. Inna anna ka anna bi anna. Laita lakinna la'alla. So you can memorize them by repeating them again and again and memorize their meanings as well. So now you know that when you have inna laha, anna laha, then that it cannot be inna lahu. The word following inna will have to be nasab, unless the word that is affected by harf nasab is a few words apart, like if it's coming later on. So this is another fragment that we have done. Next, we are going to do, inshallah, ism mawsuf, the adjectives, and we are going to do mudaf mudaf ilayh in the next class. But for now, this is it, inshallah.